Hello, everybody. We're not on mute anymore, and we're welcoming you to learn some Google skills with us today. So I'm Mrs. Cannikins, one of your instructional coaches, and
I'm Mrs. Nixdorf, one of the other instructional coaches.
And so today we are going to do some design skills in Google Slides. And so we're going to create a little fun winter scene. We're going to build a snowman, and you are going to learn lots and lots of new things about Google Slides. Even if you think you know a lot about Google Slides, you probably have some new things to learn. So first of all, we should talk about this. As we're going along today, if you need to stop, so maybe you need to stop and clear your screen or get your slide deck open, at any point you can play and pause. So if you need to stop, you just press stop. And then when you're ready or when your class is ready, then you can go ahead, press that play button and have everybody catch up. And so that's how this goes today when we do a play and pause recording like this. So the very first thing that you are going to do is in a new tab, we need to make a new Google slide. So one thing you can do is type new.slide. And so you might end up something like this. And then what you'll want to do is click this X in the top corner, and we'll put a title in here, Snowman. We should always have a title. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of these boxes that we have. So we're going to click on the box, see how it's blue. When it's blue, I can click on it till I get my little hand. There we go. Click on it, blue, and then hit your backspace on your Chromebook. So we have a nice blank white canvas. It looks like a field of snow for us to build our snowman in. The very first thing that we are going to do is we are going to change our background. So we're going to change the background for the whole entire slide. So if you go up to the top, there's a background button. We're going to click on that. We're going to click color. And I'd like you to choose like a nice kind of sky blue background. That one's okay. Maybe go a little darker. I wouldn't go much darker than that. We'll go with that one. That's a nice bright blue, but we probably don't want to go any darker than that. So now we have a blue background. So that'll be your first step. Change your background. All right. Then we know that a snowman is made of circles. So we are going to use what's called the shape tool. So if you look on your toolbar, we're going to look for the part that if I hover over it with my yellow mouse, did you see how that says shape? I'm going to click on that and I get this little drop down. So I'm going to click on this circle. And if I hover over that, it says oval. That's the one that I want. So it's in my cursor now. I'm going to click on my pad and drag till I get a circle. And then I'm going to just let go of it. So let's show you that again. So you're going to come up to shapes and you're going to come click on the circle. So once you click that, it saves it in your mouse. And then you click on your background and you drag to get a circle. And it'll be sitting there like that. All right, so you go ahead and make a circle. And then we want it to be just about a little bit above the middle of the page. So we're going to learn how to use some arrow keys to move around. So if we want to move an object in Google Slides, we have to make sure that it has this box around it. So you see this box with these little corner handles? That means that that object is the thing that the thing is going to happen to. So right now we want to move that. So I've clicked on my circle and I'm going to use the up arrow key to move it up. The down arrow key, I could move it all around. So I'm going to make the arrow keys. I'm going to put it just about there. So that's our first trick, is to move with the arrow keys. Now, let's say I wanted to make this a little bit bigger. Here is a keyboard shortcut. And today you're going to learn a couple keyboard shortcuts. I'm excited to share these with you. So you're going to use Control-Alt-K. So with my two fingers, I'm going to put one finger on Control, one on Alt. With my left hand, I'm going to hold those down. With the other finger, I'm going to press K. K, 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 K. It makes it bigger and bigger. Now, if same thing, Control and Alt, and this time I press J, it makes it smaller. Bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller. So I want it right about there, I think. Okay, right above there. So now I've got a nice circle. Now, we could make another circle going back to that shape tool, but instead we're going to learn another shortcut key. So I'm going to click on that snowman head. So it's got the blue box around it. Now, I'm going to use my favorite shortcut of all time, and that is Control D. So Control with one finger, press D with the other, and I have another one. Now, if you happen to hold down D, woo, it just keeps making a whole bunch. So you just want to tap Control and tap D once, or you'll get a whole bunch. And if you need to delete those, you can just click backspace, click backspace. Many clicks. There we go. Box, backspace, box, backspace. All right, so that's what we want. So now I'm going to use my arrow key to move that guy down a little bit, move him over, but I want him to be bigger. So I'm going to use Control-Alt-K. I'm going to move him down with my arrow key. Now, watch this. I'm going to move him down so that the bottom of the circle goes just off the slide because I don't want my snowman to roll over. So I'm going to put him on the bottom so it looks like he's sitting flat. So if you look up in the corner here, it looks like he's sitting flat. Okay, so we have two circles. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to learn how to remove the border line so that he doesn't have these black lines around him. So we're going to click on the top head, and then we're going to click on the pencil with the underline that says border color, and we're going to click transparent. And so just like that, we got rid of the black line around it. Now, while it's still selected, this time we're going to click on the paint bucket or the fill color, and I'm going to pick a nice bright white. You might not be able to see on the screen, but the white on the head of my snowman is a little different than the body. The body looks gray. So I'm going to come down. I'm going to do that on my second snowball. So I'm going to click on the pencil with the underline border color, transparent, and then make sure that blue box is still around my circle, and fill color, white. So now I have a nice snowman with no black lines around him. So we've got the base of our snowman. We need another shape. And so I'm thinking of a shape that every good snowman has, and that is a triangle for a nose. So I'm going to go back up to my shape tool. I'm going to click it, click on shapes, and I'm going to pick this second triangle. I'm going to click on it. So now that triangle is sitting inside my mouse, and I'm going to make a long skinny triangle that points up in the air like my snowman is moving, looking up. So I'm going to point him up in the air. Carrot's going to go up in the air. So I now have a gray carrot, and of course I wouldn't want to eat a gray carrot. I would want to eat an orange carrot, and we know how to fill that now. So click on the triangle to make a box around it. I'm going to go to my fill color, that paint bucket, and I'm going to press, oh, I think I can do better. Miss Nixdorf, do you like that orange better, or should we go one more? Oh, I'm going to go with that one. Okay.
Oh, that's bright.
Now I'm going to go back to my border color, transparent, and get rid of that line around there. All right. Now, my snowman needs a mouth. So I'm going to go back to my shape tool. I'm going to go back to that circle, and I'm going to draw a circle. Now, I know that's too big for the mouth, but I'm going to start there. I'm going to go up to my fill bucket. I'm going to make it black because I'm going to put pieces of coal or rocks. Who has coal around? That's an old time thing. When I make a snowman, I look for some rocks for a mouth, or sometimes the lids for milk jugs. But rocks work better than coal because who has coal? All right, so now, does anybody remember what I do to make it smaller? Control-Alt-J. So I'm going to make that smaller. Right about there. Now, I'm going to use my duplicate trick. Control-D. I'm going to go one. Oopsie. Oh, do you know why that happened? I had the box on the wrong thing. So I'm going to click just on my mouth. Control-D. And I want a couple of these. Now, looks like his mouth is falling off. That's okay. I'm going to just click on those, and I'm going to use my arrow keys to move them to where I want. Maybe put that guy up there.
Too many.
I made too many, but that's okay. I can. He doesn't need to look perfect. So we can move those around. And if I want, oh, watch this. If I want to move just a tiny little bit, if I go Shift Control, it's a nudge and it moves just the tiniest little bit. All right, so now I've got a mouth for my snowman. Okay, now my snowman needs some arms. This time I'm going to click on the line tool. I'm going to click on the little arrow, and I'm going to click just on this top one that says line. So I'm going to, going to click and drag, and now I have a line. That is a pretty skinny stick.
Way too skinny.
And it's going to break. So I've got the box around my line. I'm going to come up to the 3 lines that say line weight, and I'm going to pick, oh no, I want it bigger. I'm going to pick 8. There we go. Okay. So what I could do is I could do Control D to duplicate, and I can use my arrow keys to move him over, but I probably want him to go in the other direction. So click on the little button at the end, and then you can move that around. All right, so then if you have time, while you're waiting for your friends to finish up their arms, if you have time, let's add some more little lines. It'll be like hands. So make that guy a little bigger. I'll go back to my line tool. And I'll come over here, make another line. There's other tools. We could use the polyline tool to do this as well. The line tool, we have to go back and click it every time, but it's a little easier to use than the polyline. Oh, and that one got skinny, so we'll make that big. So if you have time while you're waiting for your friends, you can make some lines for arms. Okay, and hands. All right, our snowman's looking pretty good. We're going to add 1 or 2 more things before we're done here today. So the next thing that we're going to do, our snowman is looking up in the air. Do you wonder what he's looking at? I have an idea of what I think my snowman's looking at. He's looking at snowflakes that are falling. So he's happy it's snowing because then there's going to be more snow for him to stay around. So I'm going to come over to Insert, and I'm going to click on Image, and I'm going to click on Search the Web. And so you'll see over here that it pulls up for me a little search box, and I'm going to type snowflake. You might want to type this in so our friends can see this on the bottom of the screen, Mrs. Nixdorf. And then I'm going to click on snowflake transparent, and I'm going to click on transparent background. Teachers, you might need to write that up on the board so your students know how to spell that. Snowflake transparent background. So I've asked for a transparent background. Sometimes it's hard to know if we actually got one until we click it. So I'm going to click on, oh, I like this one right here. So I click it, and then I'm going to click Insert. And that's exactly what I was looking for. Remember, Control-Alt-J makes it smaller. Control-Alt-K makes it bigger. I'm going to make it a little smaller, and then I'm going to Control-D to, got to put the blue box around it. Control-D to duplicate, and then I'm going to either drag by tapping down on my touchpad and dragging those around, or tapping and then moving with my arrow keys. Move those guys all around, and then I'm going to make some bigger and some smaller. So I'm going to go Control-Alt-J and Control-Alt-J over here, and maybe Control-Alt-K. All right, and so we have snowflakes all around. Control-D, maybe I think we need a couple more there. There we go. So we've got some beautiful snowflakes. We have a pretty nice scene. Now, if you are waiting for the rest of your class to get done, I'm going to give you one more little thing that we can do. And go Insert, Image. Let's add, search the web. This time I'm just going to get rid of the word snowflake, and I'm going to put scarf. And let's see what we get here. Scarf. Transparent. There's a whole bunch here, a white one, a couple red ones. I'm going to try this red one. So I'm going to insert. There it is. I'm going to move it over. Uh-oh. I have an idea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a little bigger. Control-Alt-K. And I'm going to use Control and my down key. Actually, I'm going to right-click. We'll do it this way. Right-click. There it is, Order. And I'm going to go Send to Back. Now, that's too far, but I'm then going to click on my bottom snowball and say Order, Send to Back. And there, it's just about perfect. I might move my arm up a little bit and my hands. So now we've added a scarf. Or maybe your snowman has a broom or a hockey stick or something else. So there we have created a beautiful snowman. You have a work of art that you could share with your friends. Your teachers could print that off, and you can do all sorts of wonderful things with your snowman art. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you have fun as you create your very own snowman. And if your teacher wants to share them with Mrs. Nixdorf and I, we would love to see your creations.